In this episode, I discuss the importance of being a truth teller to your clients, which produces better results for them and gains you the highest level of respect. Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Treatment Revolution podcast, where we teach overworked massage therapists a new treatment method that cuts session times in half and eliminates the frustration of inconsistent results so they can avoid burnout and help more people get out of pain. If you're new to the show and you have no idea as to who I am, my name is Dr. Matt Maggio, and I got my degree in chiropractic well over 15 years ago, but I've never performed an adjustment in practice and focus my treatments solely on doing quality soft tissue based work. And I believe that the best and safest treatments in the world to fix injuries and help people get out of pain are soft tissue treatments delivered by world class massage therapists. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the show. So the other day I was talking to a massage therapist who was really struggling with wanting to have their clients like them and being their friends, um, but then found themselves struggling when they don't ever listen to them on how to get better. And they keep doing like reckless stuff outside the office and then come in and complain that they're not doing any better and don't really respect the therapist and really have issues with like boundaries and all sorts of things. And then what really set this person over the edge is they've been telling them for ever that like, hey, these workouts they're doing in the gym are really messing them up, and they didn't want to stop. So then they also started seeing a chiropractor, and the chiropractor told them to stop doing it, and they did it right away. They listened to the chiropractor right away, and they were confused as to why this happened. They're like, hey, I thought this person was my friend. I thought they liked me. That's where the problem comes in. So a couple of concepts I want to dive into in this episode is the idea is love or respect. We can either be loved or we can be respected. It's hard to be both, because a lot of times when people love you, they don't respect you as much. And this is what's happening in this situation is they do love them, they do look at them as a friend, but they're not going to really take them seriously as like a viable option, a viable source of information and resources, because that friendship barrier is there. So they don't actually respect them. And that's what happened with the chiropractor. The chiropractor came in, and even though I don't think the chiropractic treatments are going to help anything or make anything better, the client respected them and listened to what they said. Another issue is just always trying to get people to like you. We all want to be liked. It's in our human nature, it's in our DNA. It's part of our survival. We want to be liked. And if people don't like us, we kind of get concerned, we get worried. And this is a lot of what I see, especially with massage therapists and practices that I've consulted with and trained over the years, is they're really stuck in like that service mentality where they want to keep the client happy, they want to keep them coming back, and they're not really producing solutions. So they kind of, tell them what they want to hear, tell them that they're not doing the things that they need to do in a nice way, and it just really causes a lot of problems in any social interaction. In any situation, there's these things called power frames. This isn't like a masculine, like dominant type of thing. It's just the idea someone has to be the alpha and someone has to be the beta. And a lot of times when you're just their friend, you get stuck in the beta trap. And when you're in a beta trap, you might not even realize it, but the client really tells you what to treat, where to treat, how to treat, doesn't listen to you about what to do in between. They might even haggle with you over pricing, getting on the schedule, and everything like this. Something that's so important and is missing in our society is just radical honesty and transparency. It doesn't mean you have to be a jerk about it, but really just being radically honest and transparent. We've become so soft as a society and a culture where we don't want to like offend anyone or hurt their feelings and have them be these special unicorns where everything is fine and we live in this magical world. This happened for me for years. So, I'm making this podcast now, and right now I just weighed myself and I weigh like 205 pounds. Probably about 10 years ago, I weighed almost 300 pounds. I was sloppy, I was gross, I was fat. But everyone in my life, kept telling me it's okay. You used to play football, you're big bone, you're strong, things like that. I was always good at like lifting weights. I was strong, and no one was ever really honest with me. And then finally, my mentor one day was like, hey, Matt, you're really unhealthy. You don't have a good look to you, and your clients and patients aren't going to take you seriously as a healthcare provider if you continue to look like that. So you need to do something to get your health in order and get your weight down, because it's really becoming a problem for yourself. And honestly, finally, someone was just being truthful with me and telling the truth. He wasn't a jerk about it. He wasn't like, hey, you're a fat slob, you need to do this. He's like, hey, this is what I see. And it's the same thing you have to be with your clients, is like being a truth teller to them, being honest about what's going on. Maybe if they are, you know, 100 pounds overweight and their knee hurts all the time, like having a conversation with them. Or if like they don't exercise, they don't drink water, but then they expect to be better, have that conversation. Because a lot of times you don't want to have it and you feel bad and you're like, oh, I don't want to hurt them feeling, I don't want to hurt their feelings. But at the end of the day, it's like facts over feelings. I'd rather have someone be honest with me and tell me the truth than lie to my face and, you know, make me think that nothing's wrong. And that's what happened to me. I'm like, I got mad at like my family members and friends. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? And they're like, well, we didn't want to hurt your feelings. Well, I think that's even worse. I would rather have my feelings a little hurt to get motivated where I need to go. Another trap we run into in society is the idea versus like sympathy versus empathy. And we think it's the same thing. But sympathy is more like people want you to feel bad for them and their situation, their victimhood, and everything like that. Where empathy is like you feel bad for what's happening, but you understand what's happening to them. You have the skills to help them. You've seen it with other people, and really cultivating more empathy, because that's going to help you just show them that you care, but also not like let them make excuses, you know, cop out of things because you don't want to hurt their feelings. They might not like the truth, but they're sure as hell going to respect you. And now they can make an informed choice. This happens so many times. I see this. They're like, oh, I went to this doctor, and I go, oh yeah, what did they tell you was wrong? They're like, you know, they never told me what was wrong. I'm like, well, did the treatments help? They're like, not really, but you know what? The doctor was really nice. His staff was really nice. And they always had like these cookies in the waiting room. And it was just, you know, it was a nice experience. I'm like, so basically you just paid that person to hang out with you because they're nice. That actually didn't fix your problem. And the last thing, and I think this is the most important concept of all, and it took me a long time to learn this, and I still struggle with this from time to time, is truly separating yourself from the outcome. Um, Understanding that, like, hey, you're going to do your best, you're going to show up the best, but you can't want the result more than the client does. And we live in this world, in this society of like instant gratification, no work. Everyone wants it done for cheap, for free, without any real effort and sacrifice. They essentially want you to carry them up the mountain and do all the work for them. I say, hey, I'm going to help you up the mountain, but I'm sure as hell not going to carry you the whole way up the mountain. So if you're struggling with clients, having boundary issues, worried about offending them, and just getting really just, I don't even know how to put it, but like you're just so frustrated with it. And there's no way to really come back from it because you've kind of created these monsters because they're used to being your friend. And then when you are mean to them or you just tell them the truth, they might not be able to hear it. So maybe it won't work with your existing clients, but any new clients, like really set some boundaries and do that and set yourself straight and understand that like you're there to solve their problem. You're there to help them. You don't have to be their friend. I'm not trying to be friends with people that are providing something or a solution for me. I just want to know that they're the best at what they do and they can truly help me. Because a lot of times when people are like talking a bunch and trying to be extra nice, I usually think they're trying to hide some skill in their, they're trying to hide some deficiency in their skill, um, because they're trying to hide it with, you know, niceness and overdoing that. You know, some of the meanest, jerkiest people I ever met in my life that helped me fix my problems were some of the best skilled providers I've ever had in my life, because they're focused on what they do, they're dialed in, and they're not really worried about if you like them or not, because they're here to fix your problem and they want to get respect. So I hope that video helped. Hope this video helped. I hope this episode helped change some perspectives a little bit. But telling the truth is so important, and just being honest, because if you're not doing that, you're actually doing them a huge disservice and you're keeping them from getting the results they need. And it's kind of helping you lose your integrity as a provider. That's all I got in the video and the episode. Appreciate you watching. As I close out every episode, go out there and be great this week. The world needs access to your amazing treatments so they can stay the hell away from the traditional medical model of pain pills, injections, and surgeries that only make things worse and ruins people's lives. I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.